the Cock 45 here. You know, I go round and round and round about what is the best carry gun for me. Well, as you can guess, when I'm going round and round and round, brings you back to a revolver. Yeah, hard to beat. That's what this thing is. For those who don't know, nothing semi-automatic about it. Well, it's sort of semi-automatic. You can shoot it pretty fast, but it holds 6 rounds. Model 65, Smith & Wesson. It's a gorgeous gun to me. You might not think so, but I have always liked this revolver. Smith & Wesson K-Frame Model 65. You have seen it, many of you, if you've been around. Some of you who have not done your homework and gotten back and seen all the videos yet, don't know what's wrong with you, what you're hesitating for, but you will see this video. This gun is in several videos, all right, and 357 Magnum videos here and there randomly and comparing with different firearms maybe. But we have never done a revolver video on a video on this gun, the Model 65, and kind of featured it that I can find, really. If we have, who cares? I want to do it again. No, I don't think we have featured this Model 65. And I know a little bit more about it, actually, than I used to. And I think I have a little information might be of interest to you. So we're going to feature this baby. It is one of my very favorite revolvers. Now, of course, I love all the classics and everything, but as far as a modern, relatively modern carry revolver, this thing is hard to beat. Okay, it's the 65, the stainless version of the Model 13. The Model 13 is the same gun. It's this one right here, basically. The Model 13 heavy barrel. Both of these have the heavy barrel, and the blue one just has a longer barrel, and it does not have the round butt. But they're both Model 13s. Okay, so that's one of the things I wanted to show you, the how these came about, more or less. And one thing that has prompted me to get this back out is I had some exchanges with a retired DEA agent, okay, Drug Enforcement Agency, federal agent. When he saw this in one of our videos, I guess it's been a year ago probably, the emails, messages that we exchanged that he sent me, and he said it's one of his favorite revolvers, and he was just going to give me a little more information on it if I was interested. And I saved it. I saved all of his comments, because he wasn't one of these guys on the internet who was a Navy SEAL, you know, that claims to have been someone like that. He really is an age, you could tell, and a good guy, and was just sharing some information, experience about the firearms. And it was so interesting, I saved it, and I thought I'd use it at some point, maybe, or some of it. But this is the 65. Let me give you a little quick rundown of what we got out here. I'm not going to shoot all these, but you know, the Model 10 is a classic 38 Special. Been around forever. Been around literally since what, the turn of the century, 1898 or something. You know, 38 Special, and so many police holsters. You know, the old 38. And in fact, in that bullet configuration, for decades. You know, nobody complained too much about how it was totally ineffective, but that was it. The 38 Special, round lead. Round nose lead bullet, you know, for a long time. In fact, I think New York police carried this gun for decades with that type of bullet. You know, I don't know if it was the federal, but it was that type of bullet. So, and by the way, appreciate it. But 38 Special was just the gun. Okay, and the New York City police carried that, among others, of course, and the 38 Special Model 10. And then the Smith & Wesson made a Model 10. I think it was, I don't know if it was just for the New York Police Department or what, but you know, it's a huge department, you know, many thousands of officers. So that kind of drives a lot of markets. They made them a heavy barrel version of it. And that's what this is. In fact, I just ordered that from Bud's the other day. I just bought it secretly from them, and all went perfectly, came in, and here it is. But this is a Model 10 with a heavy barrel. Okay, so they started using it some. I guess some of the officers like that heavy barrel because with maybe the warmer loads or whatever, it was easier to hold on target, because it does have a nice feel. Well, the State Patrol, the New York State Patrol saw this. Now this is what I have gleaned from my research, forums, people who were in the police department and people who seem to know what they're talking about, the The dates get a little iffy. It goes back into the 70s, early 70s, on up and through the 80s is kind of the period of time I'm talking about here today. But so this was kind of the early 70s. But anyway, the state troopers in New York saw this heavy barrel version and said, hey, we like that, but we'd like that in a 357 Magnum, you know, that gun in 357 Magnum, which brought on, guess what? This Model 13. Kind of the same gun, a little longer cylinder, the heavy barrel. And so the state, New York State Patrol, you know, got the Model 13, and that was a very popular gun. Probably other state patrols carried that. Okay, this is a wonderful gun. Plenty of weight for the 357 Magnum with that heavy barrel, and just a good shooter. So that's very popular. Well, as things evolved, the Oklahoma State Police, as I understand, saw it and they liked it. They wanted one, okay, Model 13, except they wanted it in stainless. All right, taking it to the next level. And so they, I don't know if that's why Smith made it, but anyway, Smith came out with the Model 65, which is this gun. Same gun in stainless. This is the same gun as I said, essentially, shorter barrel. So the Oklahoma State Patrol have this gun in stainless. And you probably see a lot of these on the police, used police market, right? I've seen gun shops with 10 of these things, the stainless Model 65s in there on the, you know, on the shelf, used guns for sale, because a lot of departments use them. So the Oklahoma State Police had that in stainless, which is the Model 65. Well, then the CID, the department, you know, the investigation unit of the Oklahoma State Police, they liked it. Yeah, we liked that, but we wanted it in a 3-inch barrel. Hence this, the 3-inch bull barrel 65. So while I think it was in progress, getting it delivered or made or whatever, the DEA got wind of it, and they loved it and said, you know what, we want that gun, that 3-inch Model 65. And this, again, this is the DEA agent, retired, is telling me most of this. And when they started issuing this gun right here, of course they didn't have the bob hammer, to their new agents in training, they were training first in Georgia and then later in Quantico, Virginia, near where the FBI was training, in the same housing units or something there. And they saw it and they liked it, okay, the FBI. Except, you know what they wanted? We're going back around the circle here. They wanted it in blue. So back to the Model 13, but in the same configuration. 3-inch bull barrel, K-Frame 357 Magnum. All right, so I tried to get that in a nutshell. That's kind of how it went, according to what I have read from different people. And there's, oh man, the dates and the stories are all over the board on this. People argue about what dates these things were adopted, when the FBI started using the Model 13, when they quit using it, when they stopped issuing it, when the last agent, you know, stopped carrying, all that kind of. But what I was surprised to learn was that the DEA actually carried this thing. I knew the FBI carried it in blue. I did not know the DEA did. So, yeah, definitely, they carried it. And so that's kind of how that went. And that was through, I don't know, late 70s, mid 70s, late 70s, up into around 1990, I think. I don't know when the last of these was phased out, because, you know, they went into other semi-automatic firearms and that sort of thing. But long story short, that's already long, right? This was the gun. You know, if you were a federal agent in either of those units, then you were carrying a firearm like this with no adjustable sights. And today, a lot of people would look at this and think, wow, what a pathetic firearm. 6 shots, can't even adjust the sights. Well, FBI is a fairly prestigious outfit, right? DEA too, I guess. They're carrying this for their carry gun. There were some other options and choices and that kind of thing. Some of them could still carry a Model 10, I think, if they wanted and all that. But most of them were being issued these things right here in the DEA. And they get the job done. Now, I have bobbed the hammer on this one because I see this as a carry gun. Let me take a couple more shots here. I could shoot this thing all day. Yeah, I'll tell you the truth, I hadn't shot it much in the last year or two. And I took a couple of shots before we started. I said, John, let me shoot this thing a couple of times, because I know it's a good shooter, but I have just not shot it and for a while. And as usually happens, I shoot just fine before the video. Then who knows what happens when the video starts. Let me just go on over there and try that red plate. before I make up stories about how I hit it before the video started. I'm gonna have to fire it double action, okay? Pow, got him. Got him again. Let's try a pig. Let's try another pig. Going low, I think, on that. Yeah, I was holding just a little bit low. So this gun will hit right where you're aiming, and those are 38s. I'll get those later. But you know, who would guess? And that's one of the things since we started doing videos. I like to show that a little gun is maybe all you need. Doesn't have to be a big long barrel. Doesn't even have to have a single action trigger pull. I have not slicked this up or anything. It's just the regular. It's just, I've not done anything to this firearm except bob the hammer there. And even though you could cock it, you can grab it and do that, but I never do that. There's no need to, because when you get back there, you can tell when it's about to break. It's not a problem. Yeah, sights are not adjustable. I've done a little redneck coloring there. You can see the paint I've put on there, and that helps a little bit. But the sights are on, so I probably will not adjust them today, okay? I think I could do that with a screwdriver, adjust those. So another story I read online as I was researching a little more on this, on the Smith & Wesson forum and different places reading, and I found some other agents that you could tell they're agents. Again, you know, I could be fooled, but you know, you can tell. You get a little age on you, you can tell when somebody's just making up stuff, you know, kind of. But there was a story somebody was telling about how, let's see, this was this was it was online. Okay, I was confused with another story I saw about the Miami shootout, but yeah, somebody was talking about how they trained with these, or they carried these when they were, I think it was FBI guys when they carried these. Yeah, they were FBI guys, not DEA. That's right. Okay, it's on. I think it was Smith & Wesson 4 maybe, and they were taking a class to become firearms instructors, and the two instructors came in that were teaching this class. Those two instructors had just been to Quantico, and they had been issued this gun in the Model 13 version, you know, the blue. It's the only difference, okay? Same gun exactly, the Model 13, the carry gun for the FBI during that time period. So this might have been during the early years of it being issued. And so these guys came and they had these guns, just like this. And the fellow who was telling the story said he and his buddy, one of them was carrying a Model 19 357, kind of like this, but with adjustable sights, better sights, and the other guy was carrying something with adjustable sights, and they sort of looked down on these two agents teaching the course, like, oh yeah, really, you really like that gun, you know, you're gonna be able to shoot that gun with no sights on it that you can adjust, etc., etc. And his point was they had to eat crow, basically, you know, after that course was over, from seeing them shoot and experiencing, you know, shooting themselves, I guess, and everything else. And the guy wrapped up his comment, his little story with, and today I still carry a Model 65 or a 13, you know, his old duty gun. So the point of all that is, you don't need adjustable sights if the sights you have are on, okay, and you can see them, okay, important. So I just think it's interesting that one of the things I like about this gun is the fact, I'm gonna shoot some just 38 special here, plain old lead round nose, that this gun was carried and by federal agents for a good while in either the stainless or the blue. And if you know much about 3-inch barrels, it's almost a cult. It really is. People who really like 3-inch barrels on both revolvers and even on semi-automatics sometimes. And I have to admit and confess, it's a cult I'm a member of, okay? I like 3-inch barrels. All right, fountain. Hey, finish him off. I got one more round. Maybe we can pop that other guy there. Oh, got him. Quick. Again, double action, and you see the sights. It's go back. I like these Plus P hollow point jacketed rounds. A lot of people with a 357 carry a round like that anyway. A good Plus P 38 special. Nothing wrong with it. Let's put a couple on that target. Click. Okay. I don't know where they went, those. We'll put some on there. Let's put some Magnums through it too while we're at it. Good old revolver. Hard to beat. You know I like them. And you should too. Nothing more useful than a 357 Magnum revolver. Very, very, very flexible. Now the holster I've got, it's not a great one for reholstering. It's an old, so I love these holsters. They're nice holsters. But that's really the best one I have for a 3-inch revolver. In fact, this is made for a K-Frame 3-inch gun. It's made for this gun, basically. And it actually carries very well. So you just reach back, pull that thing out. Boom. Yeah, that's a hot round. Got me a cowboy. I forgot, a little bit different point of impact, I think. 357 Magnum, keep those separate. Put my specials in. I might even hunt a little more. If I was going to carry a revolver, say not a pocket revolver, because you know it is hard to beat a little J-frame Centennial or something like that, like the Airway, you know, for a pocket revolver, or one like it, you know, the Ruger LCRs and all those. But if you're going to carry a revolver in a holster, a round butt K-frame is wonderful, hard to beat. And to me, a 3-inch barrel is ideal. And then beyond that, a 3-inch bull barrel is even more ideal. Beyond that, a bob hammer is even better. Okay, and guess what? This gun has all of those things. Oh man, what do we want to shoot? I wonder if it knocked down a ram. If I hit it, it might. In the right place. Yeah, didn't hit him hard enough. I'll try the other one. Yep, sorry, couldn't knock it. Let's try that turkey. Oh, got him. All right, we have one round. If I were to hit that chicken, would you send me a check for $1.97? Huh? It's getting a little smoky. They clean up like a new one though. Let's try that chicken. Just put one at him. I got one left here. Ooh, so close, but so far away. Beautiful gun. Any other lies I didn't tell you about it? I don't want to give you too much history, but in my research and reading, postings, and the retired DEA agent, I just wanted to share that with you. I found it very interesting because I have liked this gun for a long time. I know one thing I was going to tell, I guess. Back in the days, 20 years ago, before I had security systems and cameras, and there were, you know, no one here during the day back then, you know, as different from now, and everybody's coming and going and all that sort of thing, and security. There was a time 20 years ago when there was nobody here all day. We had a burglary. Imagine that. And no alarm system. How dumb was I? Well, I had a safe, but I had a few guns out of the safe and they were taken. And this was one of them. Actually, it was in a safe. It was in a little box, one of the lockbox, push button boxes, a Canon of the day. Kind of sheet metal, but you know, they're just designed to keep kids out mainly, but push button thing. And so these guys, these geniuses, this was in that box and loaded. It was my one quick access firearm at the time. That was before I bobbed the hammer, I think. I don't remember. But so they stole it, took it out. They had a crowbar or something and worked that box. On the kitchen floor, you could tell they worked and worked and worked, and finally ripped up that box and got this out. And then they tried to shoot the main safe I had. thought they'd seen too many westerns, I think, which didn't get them anywhere. But must have been loud. I hope they burst their ears, because it had 357 Magnum rounds in it. At that time, it had some not gold dot, there were golden sabers in it, and man, I know those are loud and fast. So anyway, it was gone, and oh, it was a year or two later, because I reported all the serial numbers, and it bounced back, and some, well, they tell me that they picked it up off some gangbangers down in Murfreesboro, Tennessee or something, but it boomeranged back to me. And so this gun has history with me over the last 20 years, and I'm so glad to have it back, because it is one of my very, very favorites. And they're hard to find, the dumb things. You know, I've been looking for one of the FBI guns forever. You can't find them, you know. If someone gets a 3-inch K-frame like this, I'm opening up the cylinder here so you know it probably won't shoot you, okay, since you're not here with us and it's empty and the cylinder's open. But again, you got the bull barrel. You all know what that means. You got that thick barrel, heavy barrel, okay, and that's what's cool. So they're easy to spot, you know, these FBI guns and then these 65s. So wonderful old revolvers. You got to shoot it 6 more times in case we forgot to shoot something. And I'll let you go. I know you've had a long day watching me shoot. Yeah, let's just shoot some more of these lead round nose bullets. One of the most popular loads that was issued and carried by the FBI and the DEA was the, and I have some, I didn't bring them out here, but they're 158 grain lead hollow points, okay? And they really were very, very effective. They were 38, they weren't even 357 Magnum, they were 38 special plus P lead hollow point, and those were very, very popular, and that's one of the rounds I tend to keep in this thing. All right, 38 special, 6 more, and I'll let you go. I know I've kept you long enough. There's a pot that has not been finished off. There's a pot right here. All right. Oh, there's a soft drink. What I was doing. Okay, 1 shot left. You know what, that Mr. Cowboy is still unscathed right there, so let's put one on him. Boom. So anyway, if you're a revolver person at all, you know what I'm talking about here. It's why I get a little excited about this firearm. It's one of those steel firearms. Even though I like the polymer stuff that works, there still is something really special. I've got that side of me, like some of you old codgers have. Oh, it's got to have wood and steel or forget it, you know. Get those ARs and polymer pistols out of here. I've got a little bit of that in me because I just love a good old steel gun. And you know that I like small guns that get the job done. You know, this is like a Model 27 Glock to me, or, you know, and some of the other models in the M&P line, all the others. A small automatic with power, and one of these, there's just something special about them, and I like them so much because they're so small and convenient. But yet you saw what you can do. I didn't shoot the gong. You know what, I gotta shoot the gong going before we go. But you can hit something at distance with them, and as opposed to some little pocket gun or some little gun that's really convenient, but it's hard to hit that log with it, you know. A gun like this, Glock 26, Glock 27, you know, the fact that they're handy, and boy, you can just hit anything with them. So you're ready for combat. That's cool. That's comforting too. All right. I'm sorry I fooled you. Got to shoot the gong, or at least at it. I always hear from people getting mad at me if I don't shoot the gong. After I said all that, am I hitting? I can't hear it. Oh, you know what? I must be going low. Okay, yeah, I held it up a little higher. I don't know where those were going. Some of those might have hit, and I just didn't have my earplugs in too tight. But the last couple caught it. I brought the sight picture up higher. So anyway, don't shy away and be afraid of a firearm if it has fixed sights like that, because about any I've ever had. And look, I've got 4 of them lying right there, or 3 lying over there. This makes 4 firearms that are really good shooters. Don't ever be afraid of those, because they're usually right on. They really are. And I wouldn't tell you a story. Okay, you can tell I like this gun. It's pretty cool. It has some interesting history. Life is pretty good.
Hi, I'm Zeke with the Sonoran Desert Institute, and here at SDI we're extremely proud to be sponsors of the Hickok 45 channel. You may be asking yourself, well, what is SDI? SDI is an affordable, fully accredited distance learning education program. We have an emphasis in gunsmithing and firearms technology. If you decide to become a gunsmith, you'll need to learn proper gunsmithing techniques, and while some people will use an apprenticeship program to gain these techniques, a formal education will ensure an organized, more comprehensive learning environment. But when you choose a gunsmithing school, it's still kind of difficult. So it's very important that you choose a gunsmithing school that meet the following criteria. First, look for a nationally or regionally accredited program. And whether distance learning online or through a brick and mortar ground program, a gunsmithing program should always have a hands-on element. And finally, make sure you look for a school with high student satisfaction. Find reviews online, check out its Facebook or other social media, or get on the same social media sites, find some alumni, and ask to speak with them about their experience. And while we're not at SDI today, I do have some of the firearms I've learned to work on and built myself through the SDI program. So let's go take a look at them. Okay, maybe not. We'll just get seriously. Can I not get a chair that fits me? I'm a big guy, dude. So I guess back to what we were originally talking about. Above all else, find the school that's right for you. It's not always going to be the distance education programs or the brick and mortar ground schools that are for everybody. Just make sure you do your research on multiple options before you make that decision. But if you want more information on our gunsmithing school, just go to www.sdi.edu or call us at 1-800-336-8939.